All right, I think we're live. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mike Nardi here. Today, this is the first live stream we're doing in a little while. So basically, for those of you that are new, what we usually do in these streams is I have a bunch of Fiverr profiles and gigs from some of you that you've submitted to me that I'll actually be reviewing here on the screen with you. I'll be letting you know my thoughts on your profiles, your gigs. I'll give you some tips. And in the meantime, I'll also be asking some questions that you guys might have, and yeah, we'll just have a chat for a little while. So I see that there's already some people who've jumped in. We got Adrian, hello. 14D, what's up? Thanks for coming. We got Mazen, who I believe one of his gigs and profile is up for review. But yeah, so basically we'll just kind of start waiting as people trickle in. I'll go through a couple questions in the chat, and in a few minutes I'll fire up my screen share, and we'll talk about the first couple Fiverr gigs that I'm going to be reviewing today. Mahad Titan, Ola, right back at you. We got Sanjay as well. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you. All right. So we got some questions. So inspirational theory. I've completed 23 orders, but I've only gotten 16 reviews. That's actually pretty good. Level 1, all requirements are over. Oh, because, okay. So you've met all the criteria to get level 2, it sounds like, but you did something. You got a warning, so you got to wait 60 days more. Not much I can really say there. Just try to abide by Fiverr's TOS so that they don't do that to you. But good luck. 16 reviews on 23 orders is really good. To give you an idea, I've done like 700 something orders. My review rate is only at about 59 or 60%, I believe. So not everybody leaves a review. That's pretty normal. All right. So Yov says, I've seen that you replied to my email saying that you'll be reviewing my gig, but you actually already reviewed it in the past. It's about gig. Oh, okay. Interesting. So let me see. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, no worries. Thanks for letting me know. All right. Alien60, what up? Says, I just discovered your channel. Very excited to be enlightened. And just one last one before we get into it. Thirsty Water says, phew, they made it. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to share my screen. So I'll go into one side of this, and then there'll be a screen share of my internet browser where I'll be walking through some different Fiverr gigs, walking through their profiles, and giving some tips. So without waiting any longer, I'm going to do a screen share. Okay. All right. So you guys should all be able to see. If you can see, maybe just leave a quick comment saying, yes, I can see. But I think we should be good to go here. Okay, so this is our first profile, Farhad Sether. So it's been a little while since we've done one of these. So just for everybody who's new here, one of the first things I always look for, and something that I think is super important, is right here in your profile section. So this is an area where people from all over the world might be judging you based on whether or not you seem like a trustworthy professional or a person that they would want to work with. So I always recommend you put a headshot, a picture of yourself as your Fiverr profile picture. You know, the long and short of it is that people like working with people, and a headshot shows that you've, taken things to a level where you're treating this like a professional. You want people to know who you are, no gimmicks, things like that. So Farhad, really good job here. His profile description says he's a professional graphic designer. All right. He's from Pakistan. He's been on the platform for just about a year. So this section here, you're going to find I'm going to be reading this on all the profiles that I do. It's the profile description. Very important. So a concept we talk about a lot on Fiverr is SEO, and also being able to show the value you can offer anywhere that there's an opportunity to write text. So the two main places you can do that are your profile description and your gig description. Hi, I'm an exceptionally talented, experienced, and creative graphic designer, having long periods of involvement in internet based clients. I'm a specialist in logo planning, book covers, vector following, and Photoshop work. My main goal is customer fulfillment. I trust you will appreciate working with me to submit your request. And how about we get begun? Thanks. Okay, so first one of the day, I think that's good. There's some typos in there, some miscapitalizations, but overall, I think it's pretty good. This line here, my main goal is customer fulfillment. So I'm going to take a guess that what you mean is like your goal is to make your customers happy, to, satisfy them to get the job done. I would maybe reword that a little bit. Customer fulfillment kind of makes me feel like you're running like a huge factory production, just pumping out, fulfilling orders. And from a customer perspective, I think people want to feel like it's like a white glove experience. So great profile so far. I'm going to go into one of your gigs. I'm just going to take a quick sip. Okay, so which gig are we going to review? So he's a graphic designer. Let's do the YouTube one just for fun because we're on YouTube. So I will create an attractive YouTube thumbnail. I think the title is pretty good. This is awesome. I think that's a cool, like, YouTube thumbnails kind of go in waves, right? Like certain things are trending and in style and popular at certain times. I think this is a solid example. This is another good one. Like a lot of people do this whole super shocked look on YouTube really good. Yeah, these are great. Like these look like pretty solid YouTube thumbnails. And I like your subject line. So for everyone watching, one of the things we look for in a gig subject line, and one of the things that will help you get your gig noticed, is including what's called a keyword. A keyword is something that someone is likely to be searching for up here in Fiverr search, right? So in the case of this gig, you want people to be searching for YouTube thumbnail. That's what this gig's about. So by including that keyword in the title of this gig, you increase the chances of this gig showing up when they search for it. Okay, I'm going to read the description now, this part here. Greetings, gratitude for your advantage in my gig. So that first line doesn't really make sense to me. I'm here to make your YouTube video more appealing with attractive video thumbnails. So I would probably just cut this out and just start with this. I'm here to make your YouTube video more appealing with attractive video thumbnails. My service. Okay, so this kind of was probably going to hurt your SEO. So you probably want to put YouTube in the way that YouTube is spelled, no hyphen. So, and it would be attractive YouTube video thumbnails, attractive Facebook video thumbnails, attractive Facebook post design, attractive Instagram post design. Just a little bit of grammar mix up here. Attractive should be before, all the platforms you're listing here. Note, if you need any other design except thumbnails, you will have to contact me before ordering. Fair enough. My promise, unlimited revisions, 100% satisfaction, 100% money back guarantee, 24/7 support. To avoid any confusion or cancellation, please contact me before place Palace. This is incorrect. Order. This will save time for both of us. Okay. So overall, decent description. There are some typos that you should probably fix. I would spend a little bit of time up in this section telling a little bit more about yourself. I'm here to make YouTube video more appealing with attractive video thumbnails. Great. But who are you? Where did you learn? Why are you passionate about this? Take a little bit of time talking about yourself. It helps make the gig a little bit more personable and could help you, build someone's trust. This area, this is fine. I like that you list out what you can do. It should be attractive Facebook post design, attractive Facebook video thumbnails, attractive YouTube video thumbnails. Put attractive before the platform. And then down here, okay, so you are free to do whatever you want. Unlimited revisions, though, I highly recommend against it. The reason being is you will run into situations where buyers take advantage of you and you end up losing money on the deal. Your ROI goes down because you're spending so much time. If you want to offer revisions, specify maybe 1 or 2 revisions, but unlimited is tricky. 100% money back guarantee. That's a tricky one too. So the way Fiverr works is when an order is placed, Fiverr holds the money for the order, and when you complete the order, they release it to you. If you're going to be offering a money back guarantee, there's no real mechanism on Fiverr to do that other than if you accept a cancellation or refund request, which will hurt your gig's future performance. You don't want to cancel orders. So I would totally remove the 100% money back guarantee. I know that's something that people think is a good value, but guys, this is a service you're providing where you're sinking time and energy into doing something, not a flea market, we're not hustling or selling a big screen TV at Best Buy. You're selling a service, your time. Once you're like, you got to make sure that you know what the client wants and they know what you're going to deliver. If they're not happy with it, Fiverr has a rating system. They should be rating your order accordingly, but the money back guarantee, don't like it. Anyways, so for the first one of the day, Farhad, good job so far. I think your profile looks good. Could use a little bit of work on the gig description, but overall, I think you're off to the right track. Cool. So before we get into the next one, I'm going to just pop over to the chat, say what's up to some of the people who have joined. So we got great Scott. Scott, it's awesome to see you, man. Always a pleasure. Tech Rage says, hey, Mike, I grew my new seller Fiverr account to level 2 within 6 months. You gave me a $20 order last December. Thank you. Oh, right. Yeah, last December, I did a little giveaway where I ordered a bunch of gigs from people. So that's awesome to hear. I'm so happy to hear you've become a level 2 seller. That's really fantastic. Keep up the good work. This is Shadrach Babu, freelancing on mobile. Nice, man. Welcome to the channel. We got Ali. Welcome. Kareem. Can I link my profile to review? So, Kareem, I have about 6 queued up from people who've emailed me their gigs. If I get through these 6 and there's time to spare, I'll open it up to the chat and I might take a couple from the chat, but it's all going to depend on how long it takes me to get through these. I have a question. I'm a level 1 on the seller. I have created 3 new gigs on Fiverr before 3 months by using all strategies, but unable to get an order. So the thing I'm going to say is, without diving into it and looking into this, I don't know why you're not getting an order, but there are a lot of videos on this channel that can help. I would focus on maybe looking at your thumbnail, how effectively written your gig description and subject line is, and start from there. Aksa says, hello, I'm trying from last 1 year, but didn't get any order or response. Please help me. And how can I rank my gigs? Same answer to the last one. Focus on gig description, subject line, thumbnail. Try to boost your impressions there. Kuan says, hi. Hello. Thanks for joining. World Facts says, can a 10th class student make money on Fiverr? I'm assuming 10th class means 10th grade, so you're probably around 16, I guess. I have a video on how teenagers can make money on Fiverr or other platforms, something you might want to check out. And please don't spam the chat. You put that down like 5 times. Yes, this is the answer. A lot of people can make money on Fiverr. Usman says, hey, Mike, I followed your instructions and it really works. Thanks a lot. That is amazing. That makes me really, really happy. If you want to put in the chat, like, what are you selling? It'd be interesting to hear what you're having success with. Okay, cool. So I'm going to get into the next review and then I'll jump back to the chat here. But, it's really great to see you all putting stuff in the chat. So let's get going. Share screen. All right. So next up, we got Top Cheap Deal. Her name is Natalia. She is from Israel. Customer satisfaction is number 1, and she's got a great headshot. I love it. So already off to a great start. Okay. Hi, I'm Natalia, native English and French. I've been traveling and translating a lot across the world. As a certified translator, I have to work with many countries. Learning their language and translate them are my passion. With some colleagues, we decided to create a small network of translators. Today, we're sharing our translating skills with you and let you take advantage of them. We will translate manually in 12 hours. Wow. French, English, Spanish, Chinese, Russian, German, Italian, Hindi, Finnish, and any language. Now let's start the adventure together. All right. So I think that's actually a pretty good description. I mean, if I'm being totally brutally honest, it does sound like it wasn't necessarily written by someone like who's, fluent or native in English. It kind of doesn't flow that well, but it's good. It's good enough, I think, for a lot of translating purposes. I think it's good. I think it's cool that you were upfront, that you've built like a network with your colleagues, different translators to provide translating services. I think that's really, really cool. All right, so the gig we'll go with, we'll do, okay, so the first one's a voiceover. I will record French voiceover or English with French accent. Okay, let's do one of the translating ones. Oh, wow, Chinese, Japanese, cool. So this is the first one here. I will translate Japanese to English or French in 12 hours. So I won't click the video just because sometimes there's like copyright music, and I don't want that to be an issue. But overall, the thumbnail is pretty good. Japanese to English or French. And now for the description. So, hi, I'm Natalia, born to English and French parents. As a certified translator, I have to work with many countries and learn their language is a passion. And learning their language is a passion. We decided to create a small network of translators. Today, we're sharing our skills with you and let you take advantage of them for $5, basic package. I will translate from Japanese to English or Japanese to French. We can do the translation in only 12 hours for any of our package at per default for silver and gold and extra and platinum. Translation includes all documents in any format, technical manuals, ebooks, reviews, blogs, articles, messages, subtitles. Now let's start the adventure, Natalia. So I actually think this is a really, really good description. These are like kind of the main keywords, I imagine. Translate from Japanese to English, translate from Japanese to French are probably what people are going to be searching for. Certified translator as well. I think this is a good gig. Yeah, you put some examples of what that looks like. The only thing is a couple spots in your description and profile don't really sound like they're written by a native English speaker. And this is just something I pick up on because I'm a native English speaker, but overall, I think it's really good. So good job. Good job, Natalia. Cool. So jumping back into the chat, let's see what's up. Quinn says, where can I send my gig to get your review? So there's an email attached to my YouTube channel. It's MikeNardiTV@gmail.com. Send me an email there. And when I do live streams, I work backwards from the earliest person to send to current. So I do have a bit of a backlog, but the sooner you send me your stuff, the sooner I might review it. Oh, this is an interesting one. 1 second here. Hey, Mike, what's the shortcut to get your first order on Fiverr? Really quick answer for you. There are no shortcuts. You can't take shortcuts. You got to do things the right way. Good question. Alien60 says, I wonder what's the influence of the algorithm on Fiverr, or is it irrelevant? Well, Fiverr is a search engine to some degree, so it's definitely not irrelevant. I would say you do want to make sure that you're including keywords in your title and description to give your gigs the best chance of appearing when people are searching for those keywords. I am Canadian. Daniela Bella says, are you based in Canada or US? You sound like a fellow Canadian. I sure am. Okay, couple more questions and I'll go into the next gig. Mahad says, my gig totally disappeared from search results. Do you have any advice? Well, number one, I wouldn't worry too much if you can't see your gig, because Fiverr might know that you're the freelancer and might exclude it from results from you. That's one option. The other thing I would check is check your gig stats. If it's getting impressions and clicks, other people are seeing it, and that's all that matters. Ola Toye says, how can I get my first client in copywriting? Well, that is a big question. I actually have a full copywriting course, a couple of them actually on this YouTube channel that talk about first how to become a copywriter and learn the skills, but then also how to get going with sales, you should probably check that out. But step one would be to learn how to copyright and become a good writer. Okay, so one more. Oh, this is a great one. What do you think the most important thing you have to focus on when you're starting a gig on Fiverr? Amazing question. I think the first thing that you need to really, 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 really make sure you're focused on is your abilities in whatever service you're trying to sell. A lot of people see Fiverr and they're like, oh, wow, this is like a great, easy way to make money. It can be if you're good at something and if you are offering something that provides value and there's a need for in the market. If you don't think about that first, you might be disappointed and find it's taking you quite a bit of time to get an order, or you might not get an order at all. So I think that's a great question. Most important thing to focus on is definitely your skill set and whether you can bring value to people. Great question. Okay, so we're going to get into the next review. This is going well so far. I appreciate you guys with the questions and wrong one. There we go. That's better. Is that better? Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, cool. So next up, this is this the best way to do this? Okay, that's better. Is Mazen_H9 from Egypt. And his profile tag is I'm a motion lover. Cool. So starting with his profile description, it says, hi, my name is Mazen. I'm a self-taught freelance motion designer and 2D animation with experience and love for post-character rigging, 2D motion graphics and design, color grading, and more for various platforms and mediums. With 3+ years of working alongside teams and clients, collaborating and creating personal works independently, you can be confident in receiving high-quality product. If you're interested in working together or have any questions, please contact me. I think that's pretty great. Yeah, I think that's pretty great. The only thing maybe you want to add is I often like for people in like the design or graphics, or in your case, motion design, I like mentioning what type of project they might hire you for. So you mentioned 2D animation, you mentioned character rigging, motion graphics. Maybe mention the type of project. Like, are these video games? Are these software applications? Are they movies? Are they cartoons? That might just help people who maybe aren't super familiar with your area of expertise connect the dots between how you might be able to help and them. But overall, I think this is good. And you obviously are doing well already. You got 36 reviews, almost perfect 5 stars. That's really great. And I can already see you have a bunch of repeat clients. That is really good. Fiverr loves that. So really excited to see your gig. So this is the gig. It says, I will turn any image into an amazing loop animation. I think that's pretty cool. So the thing is, you're getting orders already. So, this looks really cool. Cool. So it turns a static image into a loop animation. I think that's pretty cool. And I could see where people might want that. Like, I've been seeing a lot of different social media accounts, Instagram, where people have like an image and then they turn it into something cool. I think that's neat. So starts the gig by saying, please message me before ordering. Okay. Do you need your image to be animated? I will animate your loop image, wallpaper, character, Twitch, emotes, NFT, and artwork to look alive. Recommended images, posters, character designs, products, fantasy arts, fantasy characters, backgrounds, notes. Price also depends on the complexity of the image. Please describe the idea you want to approach, or you can leave it all to me if you have no idea how it's done. I only create the loop if you want a long video. There will be an additional cost to that. Okay. So extras, he lists that here. $20 for an added advanced special effect or animated background, $30 for an additional character, $20 for project delivery files. Feel free to contact me before you order, or if you have any questions, don't hesitate. I always aim to deliver the highest quality possible for my clients. Thank you for your visit and have a nice day. I think this is a solid gig. I would just maybe give this area a little bit more love. I mean, it seems to be working for you, right? Like, you're getting orders, you get right to the point and go into like the recommended images and costs. But I always like to spend a little bit of time, describing the service, who it might be relevant to, why hire you versus the competition, stuff like that. But overall, no complaints. This is a solid gig. Cool. So Mazen, thank you so much for submitting. I'm going to answer some questions in the chat, and then we'll get to the next one. Cool. So let's see who we got. So we got Zachary. Welcome, Zachary. Davide, Mirto. Hi, Mike. Great to see you live. Great to see you guys here. Okay. So Facts and Short says, I work fully for an order and then Fiverr customer support cancels it. So I don't know. My gut tells me maybe there was like a violation of the terms of service, but if Fiverr canceled it, I would review the cancellation request. It usually will tell you why. Mazen says, is set your availability lowering your gig's rate? So the short answer for this one is I don't know, but I will tell you that I'm of a strong belief that you want to be available and online on Fiverr as much as possible. So I don't use the set availability feature. Instead, what I do is I will extend the delivery timelines on my gigs. So even if someone places an order when I'm not available, it gives me the time to get back to them and respond when I have time. So that's my little superstition, but totally up to you how you handle that. So Abdu says, do you think there are some people who want to hire a new freelancer? So that's a great question, and a question that I feel like a lot of new freelancers ask because, it's kind of intimidating. It takes a while to get orders. Short answer is yes. There's a market for every type of freelancer, right? Like not every client wants to pay super high rates that experienced freelancers charge. Some people like supporting new freelancers. Yeah, like I think definitely. Short answer is yes. All right, 2 more questions, then I'll go to the next review. But awesome questions, guys. Really appreciate you guys all joining. So Davide says, do you have any advice to scale my Fiverr business? I'm currently at 4 to 5K per month and want to 2 to 3X that. What's your tips? That's amazing. $4,000 to $5,000 a month is great. So before, I don't know if I can answer without knowing what you currently offer and how you currently sell it. Like, are you just fully organic on Fiverr? If so, doing things like creating a blog, a YouTube channel, stuff related to the topic where you're creating content in some vein related to what you do could actually build a following there that might trickle down to your Fiverr gig. So like take me, for example. I now have like 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have a big mailing list. People find me through YouTube and find their way to my Fiverr gig, and that's helped me make more money. So that's one option you might want to consider, but 4 to 5K a month is amazing. Good job, man. All right. Couple more. So Hassan says, what tips to use on 3D animation buy requests? So I have a video, a tutorial on how to respond to buy requests. I think you should check it out. Probably save us a lot of time for me trying to explain it here, but yeah, check it out. Movie Sub says, hi, Mike. How much time it's taken by Fiverr to rank my gig? So this question makes me feel like there's a bit of a misunderstanding of what it means to rank a gig. So ranking a gig is referring to, how high in Fiverr's search results your gig appears, right? What influences where it ranks is usually SEO or the ratings you've gotten. So for a new seller, if you don't have ratings, pretty much all SEO and the demand for that particular service. So when you ask how much time it takes to rank your gigs, the literal answer is it depends how long. It depends how long it'll take you to write a good gig description and subject line that's optimized for search, right? So I hope that answers your question. Okay, into the next review. Who do we got? So we got Fajar Nugroho. Thank you so much for submitting your profile for review. it looks like that. What is this? Like, it looks like a picture of you on transit system. I'm a big fan of headshots. Maybe, if you were to retake that, I would bring it a little closer into your face, frame yourself so it looks more like a professional headshot, but you're off to the right start there. I notice you don't have a profile, short description, something you might want to consider. It's just another area where you can put some information down that might help people understand what you're all about. All right. So, description. Hi, I'm Fafa. I am a hard worker and disciplined in working on a project. I have worked on an enterprise resource planning system for a year in a government company. Cool. Worked in customer service and made video editing and graphic design that is attractive. I believe that we will try and continue learning. Will make us reach the highest peak of what we want. Okay, cool. So, very interesting. So he says he's worked on an ERP. So an ERP is a piece of enterprise software that most large companies leverage. Huge demand there. There's a lot of demand for, ERP consultants or administrators. So that's interesting. And then you mentioned that you've worked also in customer service, video editing, graphic design, things like that. And then I notice you don't have any gigs for the ERP, mainly design, which is cool. But my gut tells me, like, I see you're charging about $5 per gig. If you can focus or create one gig that's focused on the ERP experience you have, what you listed in your profile, you could charge way more than $5 a gig. That's all I'm saying. That is definitely your most lucrative skill if you're an expert at that. Other than that, I would maybe spend a little bit of time. This is like one long run-on sentence, and then the grammar's a little off. I would maybe give it some love, right? So like a big thing, like if you're targeting English-speaking clients especially, is ease of working with you, or the perception of how easy it would be to communicate and work with you goes a long way, right? Because people want to be able to communicate with the freelancer they hire. So maybe give that some love. And honestly, this right here, enterprise resource planning system, probably would be a solid gig for you to add here. But anyways, we're gonna review one of your existing gigs. So we'll go with the most popular one. I will do affinity designer work. Cool. So I don't know what affinity designer work means, but I guess it's just kind of general, like design. Yeah, design and stuff. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Is the software called Affinity? I think it is. So I will do. So I think that, I'm not super familiar with Affinity, so I'm just trying to think if this subject line is worded correctly. But I mean, yeah, 16 5-star reviews. I'm just going to go with my gut and say it's probably fine. Affinity designer, if that's how people reference it, it's good. Sounds good. Into the description now. So I have an over 3 years of illustrating any design and object experience. I specialize in flat design and simple object, simple logo, converting vector, vectorize anything in Affinity Designer. If needed, I can redraw your raster image. This means if something you have low res picture or needs vectorized in HD, I will change it to a vector image. Okay, cool. There are some sellers that offer converting image or event rastering using tools for their basic gig. So this is a typo. For their basic gig, I offer best quality image and do manually for my basic $5 gig package. Okay, because I invest quality time and won't rush through what you brought. So that's pretty good. So far your description saying like, hey, normally people use tools to do this and it's, automated. I actually do it by hand, high quality. I think that's great. That's what people are looking for. What will you have for $5? So one illustration, JPEG, PNG, PDF, etc. Source file and a simple background. Regards, Fafa. Sorry, without reducing my respect for you, I do not draw porn, humans, and animals. Thank you for your understanding. Fair enough. I think it's very good that you put that disclaimer. I think this is a pretty great gig. The only concern I had, and this is the same with your profile description, grammar is a little off, right? I would spend some time maybe fixing the typos, but overall your message is great. I understand what you do with this gig, and I think it's a pretty good services offering. So good job, man. Thank you so much for submitting your profile. All right. So we'll do a couple questions from the chat, and then we'll get into the next review. Just going to have a quick sip of water. All righty. By the way, it's been like 5 months since the last time we did a stream here. I think this is the most people we've had live. I just saw the count was at like 54 people. That's awesome. If you guys aren't already subscribed, totally subscribe to the channel. I feel like I've been putting a lot of energy into making better content lately, help more people to get more into things like copywriting and different skills. So people are saying it's helpful, which is honestly the coolest thing to hear. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do. I do videos every Monday and Thursday. Okay. Next question. Let's see here. What do we got? 1 second. Okay, so Daniela says have to go, but please post this live stream after the fact. Such great info. So everyone, every live stream gets saved to my channel. So if you subscribe and go check it out after, I think it takes a couple hours after for the chat to sync up, but the video will be live right away after the video. Good question. So Tan Tam says, does adding a video to my gig on Fiverr help in ranking my gig? So this was something that I've thought about a lot since they released that feature. So just anecdotally, I know that Fiverr really cares about people using new features. So when they first rolled out this feature, I was a little skeptical, but I said, hey, if Fiverr wants people to use this, maybe it'll prioritize gigs that have a video. That's just what my gut tells me. So aside from that anecdotal theory on whether it helps rank, it will probably help people decide to purchase your gig. So I actually implemented a bunch of gig videos on my gigs recently. When I say recently, a couple years now, where it's me sitting in front of a camera explaining my services, being a little personal, explaining who I am and why people should order from me. And I can say for a fact that when I started doing that, not only did I start getting more orders, but my average order value really went up, and it allowed me to increase my prices again. So I think there's definitely value to using a gig video for sure. So this is another awesome question. So how do you handle customers who placed an order and ghost you? I have like 5 pending orders. So this is not really a problem for me. So when people place an order for me, I have an automatic requirements gathering questionnaire that they need to fill out. If they place an order and don't fill it out, the order just sits there. I'll message them every once in a while, but until they fill that out, the timer doesn't start. If they fill it out and they ghost me, I'll just deliver the project. It'll auto-complete, and when they get it, they get it. That's how I handle that. So this is an interesting one. Why are there new made Fiverr profiles that are ordering my gigs and immediately canceling? I don't know. I would maybe reach out to Fiverr support. That's super annoying and probably will hurt your stats in the short term. So Charles Jacoby, we are doing reviews. I do have about 3 more queued up, and normally I pull these reviews from my email associated with my YouTube account. People can send me their username and I'll add it to my production queue. What I did say at the beginning of the stream, though, was if there's time, after I wrap up the reviews that I have and answer the questions in the chat, I might ask you guys to put your usernames in the chat later, and I might pull a couple from there. But it's going to depend on time. I think I was planning on going for about an hour and a half today. All right, Curvet Digital says, my gig was ranking between 1 to 5 positions for my main keywords, but I lost ranking when I increased the pricing. How to recover and how long will it take? So that's a good question. I mean, and that kind of happens, right? Like what likely happened in the immediate term, if this is recent, is when you change anything on your gig, Fiverr has to re-index it, so it might not appear. But I don't know if price would immediately impact your ranking in search. It might not. But this is where, as you grow as a Fiverr seller and you're increasing your prices and trying new things, you got to test out what levels work for you. So I've been steadily increasing my prices, and each time I get slightly less interest, but it causes me to be able to make more money working less. So for me, that's good ROI. for you, you might want to figure out what works for you. Okay, 2 more questions and I'll go to the next review. All right, so Alien60 says, if I'm not skillful with something at first, what should I do when learning a skill? Do I start learning what might be valuable in the market or start with what I find interesting? So that is an amazing, amazing question. And it's a complicated answer, right? Like, I started copywriting because I love writing, right? It was something I wanted to get good at. In my situation, I probably would not be where I am today if I didn't enjoy copywriting, because the hours and hours and hours of practice and trial and error and learning would have been pretty miserable if it was something I didn't want to do. So while there is something to be said of making sure you're picking stuff that actually is relevant to other people if your goal is to sell that thing, being interested in it really helps for sure. So last question before I get back into the next review is Enoch says, I'm hesitant to use Fiverr because I'm new and scared that I would not get clients because I'm a programmer and do only 2D art. So listen, if you haven't tried, what's the harm in trying, right? By not using Fiverr, you're not going to get orders anyways. By using it, if you don't get orders, you're in the same boat. But if you don't try, you'll never know. So, I mean, I'm a strong believer that if you want to give it a shot, you should give it a shot. Totally. Okay. Next review, and I'm just going to have a quick sip of water before we get into it. All right. So, my guy, Tomes00. Awesome headshot, man. I like it. You're off to the right foot. Under your profile name, there's a little one line where you can put a little short tagline. You could consider using it. But anyways, let's get into it. So description. My name is Tomes. I am a content writer, proofreader, and editor. I started my career on Fiverr in February 2021. I have a good command of the French and English languages. It definitely seems so far. Here on Fiverr, I offer my services for work-related writing, proofreading, editing, translation, and transcription. Great attention to detail and punctuality are my specialty. I always focus on building long-term relationships with all my clients by delivering the work as requested at a competitive price. Want to place an order? Leave me a message. Amazing. That's a really, really, really great description. You say you're a content writer, proofreader, and editor, and it just flowed really well. It sounded great. Really good work so far. And honestly, you're getting some good reviews from all over the world. Like, I see Nicaragua, Canada. That's pretty cool. You're selling to, native English speakers as well, which is awesome. Pakistan, Belgium. You're handling orders from different places. That is awesome. Off to a great start, man. So the first one, I'll review this one, audio and video transcription. I think this is a super hot gig. I talk about this a lot. A lot of people are growing YouTube businesses. A lot of people are making a lot of money on YouTube, and a lot of people don't have the time to transcribe their own videos. So really good. Only thing, I'm a big believer, like thumbnails needs to have some information. You put general transcription, but there's an opportunity here to be a little specific. Put a couple bullet points, YouTube transcription, educational videos, whatever, but put it here so people can know without having to scroll. And cool, it gives a little example of one. Awesome. So let's get into this description. So welcome, dear visitor. This gig is a professional and high quality transcription service with 100% accuracy. Wow, nice. My objective is to deliver the best, absolute quality work possible to my buyers. I will provide a very accurate transcription with fast turnaround times, speaker identification, and time references. I offer unlimited revisions on all my packages to ensure your complete satisfaction with the delivery. That's the only red flag. I hate unlimited revisions, so just maybe note that down. I can do interview transcription, lectures, podcasts, phone calls, conferences, YouTube videos, etc. Great accuracy through the use of exact words, verbatim style, and impeccable grammar. Excellent value with great prices, 15 minutes or less of audio video for only $5. That's an incredible deal. I would say that as you grow, once you get to like 10, 20 reviews, maybe up your prices. Because I'll give you an example. For me, myself, I've gotten quotes from professional transcribers for my YouTube videos and I haven't done it yet because it was so expensive. They want to charge me $50 per 5 minutes. So you use that as you build your brand here on Fiverr. Get some more money for yourself. By all means, your writing is exceptional. So all transcripts are perfectly proofread and error-free. Please also note that a good transcription also requires a good quality original file. So please make sure that audio, video is, that good quality. That makes sense. Tomes, this is a fantastic gig. Congrats, man. The only thing I would change, add some more detail to the thumbnail and maybe don't offer unlimited revisions. It's up to you. I hate them, but, to each their own. Great gig, though, man. Okay, cool. We are rolling here. I think we've done 5 so far. Really good. Awesome. Also, if you're one of the people who I've reviewed on the stream so far and you're watching, leave me a note in the chat. Like, was it helpful? Were these things you've been thinking about? I'm always trying to make these videos better, so that would be really helpful for me. All right, so I'm going to do a couple more questions from the chat, and then we'll go back to the next review. We've been going for 45 minutes, by the way. Really, really awesome. Just as an aside, if you want to leave a chat, like, has this channel been helpful for you? How long have you been selling? Where are you from? Like, I'm really interested in hearing stories. I'm thinking about doing a new video series where I interview people who watch the channel to talk about like how people have been able to succeed on Fiverr or other freelancing sites and have positive impact on their lives. I think that would be pretty cool. So I don't know, leave a comment if you think that's something you'd be interested in, and maybe I'll add it to my list. Okay. So Ali, he's asking how to submit his gig for review. Email. So I have an email attached to this YouTube channel. Shoot me an email, include your Fiverr username, and I'll get to it. So full transparency, though, I do have a bit of a backlog, and I go in the order that they were received. So it might be a little while before your video or your profile makes it to the channel. But as long as you leave me your username and I can find your gig, I will review it. Okay, next one. Let's see. So Oliwia says, this is my first live stream of yours I watch, and I find it so helpful. Thinking about using my skill in drawing to make some extra money. And you'll send me your profile when you're ready. Keep it up. Awesome. That's amazing. I'm a huge believer of side hustles, right? Like, especially with everything that's gone on over the last few years, being able to make some extra money and support yourself or your family. So literally what I'm all about. So Ali says, sir, how long have I been in this content writing field? So I would consider myself more of a copywriter, but I write content too, I guess. I've been selling on Fiverr for about 3.5 years. Not professionally trained in writing. I was just passionate about it, wanted to write books. I've had blogs in the past. Yeah, almost 4 years now. It's pretty crazy how time flies. Just came in. What did I miss? Well, we're reviewing profiles. I got a couple more that I'm going to review. I'm answering questions from the chat, and we're just kind of hanging out. So welcome to the stream. Judith says, as a new seller on Fiverr, can I set up a gig starting from $500? I think so. I think the limit for early level sellers is $1,000 or $900 or something like that. So yeah, I think you can start at $500 for sure. Also, if you're thinking about starting at $500, it sounds to me like you're a professional on something and you're trying to sell it on Fiverr, which is awesome. If you are, highly recommend you apply to be a Fiverr pro seller. That's what I am. Gig prices start at $100 in that category. And it's just a great marketplace for people who have like professional working experience doing something they're a real expert if you want to take it to that level. Okay. So Hamza says, I am stuck with the cycle of not becoming a top-rated seller. I've completed all requirements, but I don't know how to achieve it. All right, my friend, I'm in the exact same situation. So top-rated seller is not an automatic process. Fiverr notes that in the analytics tab. It's manual. When you achieve the metrics, they wait, they handpick. What I've noticed is, and my personal opinion is, maybe there are too many top-rated sellers. And maybe with Fiverr growing, they don't want to just keep admitting people into the top rated program, which is honestly not a huge deal. Like, it doesn't affect necessarily what you can make. What I did instead of becoming top rated, because I've met the criteria, like I'm almost at 100 grand of what I've made on Fiverr, and you only need to be 20 to get top rated. I applied for Fiverr Pro and I became a Fiverr Pro, and that's working out well for me as well. So I wouldn't get too hung up on being a top rated seller. If you're a level 2 seller making money, just keep at it. If it happens, it happens, but don't beat yourself up. And nice to see you again. I remember you from past streams. Welcome back. All right, so a couple more, and then I'll go back and do a couple more reviews for you all. All right, so Alien60, I'm interested in writing, essay writing, blogs, basically sharing ideas. Is it a good gig on Fiverr and in online jobs in general? So this is a huge question that I could spend hours answering, but in general, blogs of these things that you're mentioning, probably the most viable. A lot of people outsource blog writing to freelancers because, when you think about SEO in a blog, a big factor in being relevant in a particular niche or genre is constantly publishing content. So if you're a good blog writer and you have an understanding of a certain topic, definitely something you can make money doing for sure. All right. One more question, and then we'll go back to the reviews. So Quinn says, I think it's Quinn. If I'm pronouncing it right, that's great. But if I'm not, I'm sorry. She says, hey, did you know that even if we put limited revisions, buyers can still request more revisions than they have? So no matter how many revisions you offer, buyers have unlimited. So they can request, but that doesn't mean you have to give them it. So what I do is I clearly state my revision policy either in my gig FAQ, or during the order process when we're talking. If they try to abuse it, I just deliver the project again and say, hey, please reference my gig. I include 1 revision per order. I've already given you that revision. Additional revisions are a paid feature. Would you like me to send you a quote? 99% of the time, they'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't know, and they complete the order. In the event that they don't, this is a situation where you just got to put your foot down and set the right expectations, really. Good question, though. All right. Next up, Yaxian. So, hello, my name is David. I'm drawing on Twitch in live videos where I make anime manga style drawings of people's profile picture. That's very cool. You can check my drawings on my Instagram, Yaxian Manga, or some working process on my YouTube channel, Yaxian. Here on Fiverr, you can order drawings of your profile picture in my anime style, what I create on paper with pencil. Before you order, please write a message to me. I need 2 to 3 pictures of you for the drawing. If you live in Hungary, I can also post the finished paperwork for you. That's really cool. I think that's a good profile description, super detailed, gives some backgrounds on YouTube, Twitch, does all this stuff. I think it's pretty awesome, and I know exactly what you do from it. So got 4 or 5-star reviews. We'll get into the main gig here. Oh, wow. Very, very talented. Oh, sweet. That's cool. I like it. You're obviously very good at what you do. I will do anime style. Oh, this is a typo. Anime portrait. I think you mean portrait. Fix that for sure. Fix that of your picture. I think this title is good if you fix this typo. Okay, definitely some improvements to be made here. So your gig description says, I'll draw an anime style pencil drawing of your photo. To do that, I'll need some photo. I'm not making drawings of people who wear sunglasses and sends bad pictures. Sorry. Okay, that's great. But this is one of the few spots on Fiverr that Fiverr gives you to sell your service, to explain what you do and why they should hire you. Spend some time putting energy into this. Who are you? Similar to your profile. Who are you? Why should they hire you? What do you do? What's included? Why should they care? Put that stuff in here. Right now, this is doing nothing for you, this description. spend some time, put a couple paragraphs in there, make it better, and it'll help you. Do that and fix this typo, and I'm sure this gig will take off. Honestly, you do seem like you do really good work. All right, so far we have done 6 profile reviews. We'll do some more. Sorry, it's just talking for an hour to myself basically dries my throat out big time. So we'll get some questions from the chat and then we'll continue on. Yeah, so Anne says, sounds like a good idea. New seller success stories. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think that would be super, 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 super cool and also inspiring to other new sellers who are thinking about doing similar stuff. So Thirsty Water says, I'd be interested, been selling on Fiverr for a little over a year and it's become my full-time income. That's amazing. Fellow Canadian from Winnipeg, nice. And I'm getting a lot from your channel. That's honestly awesome and super cool to hear it's your full-time income. So I guess I still call him my YouTube friend. I had a guy on the channel a while ago named Wayne. His YouTube channel is Wayne the Articulate Asian. He's a full-time voice artist and it's just so cool to hear that you can break away from a 9-to-5 job that maybe you like, maybe you don't like, and do something cool like that. That's awesome. Good work. So Maria says, do you have some advice for those experienced with Fiverr in terms of dealing with a lower influx of orders during summer? That's a good question. I mean, I'm always a big fan if Fiverr is like a real thing that you're taking seriously. Instead of just waiting for orders to come to your gig, reaching out to companies directly and pitching your services and directing them to your Fiverr gig, always a good idea. All right, couple more. So Oahu says, how do I drop my link for review? So to the email on the About page of my YouTube channel, it's MikeNardiTV@gmail.com. Send me an email and I go through them in order. Oh, wow, a lot more comments. So Foss says, hey, what's up? Nice to see you. Rahan says, can I be a thumbnail designer for you? So I appreciate the hustle, but I like designing my own thumbnails. I think it's super cool and it's a skill that I want to improve on. So respectfully, unfortunately, no. At least right now, not right now. Alien says, I'm getting really hyped up. Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear this is helpful. Honestly, that's the goal of this channel. And yeah, maybe I will do the seller success stories playlist. I'm going to write this down just so that I don't forget. Give me a sec. I am writing this down. Seller success stories. So, and you've convinced me. Seller success stories, I'm going to do them. Might take me a little while to figure out the concept, but basically I think what I would do is I'll probably put up like a poll on YouTube saying like, hey, anyone interested in being featured on the channel, a little interview, seller success story, hit me up on Twitter and then we could coordinate it somewhere like that. But yeah, I think that's a cool idea. I think that would be pretty inspiring. So could you tell us about why gig are deranked when we are level up? So I don't know if that's true necessarily. It could just be the fluctuation of Fiverr. Okay. Yeah, so Wayne is awesome. I know he said he was, working on some other endeavors. I think he's spending more time with family. He was such a cool guy, right? Like we had him, I think I had him on the channel twice. He was on a live stream with me, which was so cool. And then we did like a Q&A back and forth in a video way back in the day. Super cool guy. He's still killing it on Fiverr, I think. But yeah, I think he might be working on some other projects right now. Wayne, if you're watching this, would love to see you make more videos again. I really enjoyed learning from you and chatting with you, man. You were an awesome guy. You are an awesome guy, not were. Quinn says, what do you think about having a team doing all the work for you on Fiverr? Love to hear your thoughts. You can call me Ann by the, Ann. Oh, sorry. So personally, I do all my Fiverr projects. In my personal business, I have a certain expectation of quality, and I have a brand that I'm trying to protect, right? Like my Fiverr brand and my YouTube brand is my name, right? So I would rather do the work myself than hiring it out to a team. I don't know if I'm against it. I know there's a lot of agencies who work on Fiverr, which is cool. However, there are a lot of people nowadays doing like Fiverr arbitrage, where they like sell a service and then outsource it to another freelancer and then deliver that work. I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like the situation where there's an issue and the client's not happy and you can't fix it, the person you hired has to fix it. Now you've created a bottleneck where if they give you a hard time, maybe they don't want to fix it. Could be a sticky situation. I don't know. It's such a evolving topic. I'm not sure. Me personally, I do all my projects myself. Good question though. So House says, can you start making money on Fiverr at any age? I believe there's a minimum age, and I think it depends country to country. You should check out the terms of service. So this is an obvious answer. Do you think clients are more inclined to work with sellers whose their profiles are well written and grammatically correct? Yeah, of course, right? Like if you've taken the time to present your service in the most professional, correct way, of course people would probably want to work with you more than someone who didn't do that, right? Like if you have a messy, sloppy, typo ridden gig, why would you pick that one over the one that's not? So Anne says, a few weeks ago, I watched another Fiverr video from Jared West. He said we can fake the university we attend since Fiverr don't check it. Do you think I should go to Harvard or Stanford? Guys, that's so unethical. I can't condone that. I don't agree with that at all. Come on. I'm not a big fan of lying and faking stuff. Come on. Okay, 2 more and then I'll go in the next review. Access says, hey, Mike, what do you think of SEO services on Fiverr? Can I make $500 a month? Yeah, I mean, SEO is such a core skill set nowadays. So pretty much any online business that creates content or drives traffic to a website is doing SEO in one way or another. It's high value. It provides a great ROI for clients purchasing that service. So yeah, if you're an SEO expert and you're really good at it, I think you could totally make even more than $500 a month. Definitely. Good question, though. All right. So no more comments in the chat. I'm going to do another review. Master Creator 3. So if my memory serves, I think Master Creator is part of the Discord community I run for freelancers. So welcome, my friend. Thank you for submitting your profile for review. So this is it. Excuse me. I'm so happy that you submitted this, because I always harp on having a profile picture. And I think that's the best way to go about it. However, if you're operating as a brand or an agency or a company, it's okay to have a logo. And Master Creator 3, you kind of made your brand into this little logo, which I think is fine, right? As long as it's consistent, it's professional, I think it's good. I personally am all about the headshot, but this looks good too. All right, so he's like, oops, okay, accidentally clicked that. So graphic designer, 4 reviews, almost 5 stars. Great, from India. Has been on here since March of last year, and last delivery was 5 months ago. So let's see if we can help you out. So I've been working in the graphic designing industry for the last 3 years. My specialties include promoting your business by providing business cards, flyers, and hang tags, etc. I have also been working for a few YouTube channels, designing them thumbnails and other YouTube channel arts for the last 2 years. My specialties in the YouTube industry include increasing the subscribers count and viewers by making catchy YouTube thumbnails, intros and outros, YouTube banners, etc. Inbox me. So I think this is really, 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 really good because of this. You went into how you help YouTubers, what you help them with, and gave them an idea of how, how your services help. I think that's a great profile description. Really good job, man. All right, so we're going to go with this one. I will design catchy YouTube thumbnails. So these are really cool. So catchy and YouTube thumbnails, I don't think make sense because catchy, in my opinion, typically refers to like a turn of phrase, like, oh, that's a catchy phrase or that's a catchy slogan. For a thumbnail, I would maybe try to incorporate a gig title that's like clicky. I will design a YouTube thumbnail that gets clicks. I think that's much more important because that's what YouTubers want. They want clicks. But overall, it's good. I think this is a cool thumbnail. That's awesome. I think I remember you sending me this on Twitter or something. That's me. Cool. Yeah. You're good. Yeah, I remember you. Yeah. Your thumbnails are really, really, really good. This is definitely my favorite one. This is the best one here. I like that my face is in the money. Okay, so hi, I am Master Creator 3 and I will design catchy thumbnails for your videos. A catchy thumbnail is one that generates curiosity in the viewers. I have spent the last 2 years designing catchy thumbnails for YouTube videos. I spend my days designing YouTube video thumbnails that can increase the subscriber rate and views for videos. In my opinion, catchy thumbnails account for at least 50% of the views generated by a video. So I would say they they account for almost 100% because people have to click the thumbnail. Anyways, so there are so many sellers out there selling the same thing. I am so sure, the same thing. I am so why should you choose me? Well, this is the experience you can get from a seller like myself. Design thumbnails that best suit your niche, give a fast response to all your queries, give importance to your satisfaction, and complete the project according to expectations, deliver on or before the delivery timeline, and make sure that you have the best experience. Amazing. So what do you get? And then you list your packs, contact me before ordering. I think this is an awesome job, not just because you have the coolest guy ever, the coolest YouTuber in your gallery, but I think this is a good gig. I think you do a good job explaining why people should consider hiring you, how you can help. And yeah, you have a lot of FAQs. Really, really, really good. Oh yeah, I remember this. This was like I think a thing I ran on YouTube. Awesome. Good job. Honestly, very, very good job. I love it. Okay, so we got a couple more comments in the chat. We're just over an hour. So this is an interesting question. Is Fiverr a 100% success rate if I were to do logo designing? My friend, nothing in life over a long period of time is reasonable to expect to have a 100% success rate. Logo designing is very competitive on Fiverr. I'll be totally honest with you. Can you be successful? Yes. Can you expect to have a 100% success rate? No. You got to work hard. You got to differentiate yourself. You got to find ways to offer value. It's totally, totally, totally possible, but you need to work at it. And I think that this comment you made makes me feel like the mindset isn't really like you got to have the mindset that it's going to be challenging. And that's the beauty of Fiverr. It's this marketplace that has all this opportunity, but none of it is easy and none of it is guaranteed. Fiverr's the tool, but it's on us to make it happen. So I wish you luck, but yeah, nothing's got a 100% success rate. Just wondering, is just a decent laptop PC enough for you to work on your job effectively? So I'm a writer, so you can write on pretty much any computer from like the last 20 years, right? As long as you can like save the document, upload it to Fiverr, like Word, Google Docs, whatever you want is what I use. But whether what you're doing is going to influence that, right? Like if you're a graphic designer or a video editor, probably need a good PC to do that effectively, right? So Shiraz says, I already working good on Upwork, but I as well to join Fiverr. Though Upwork, I make $1,000 plus a month. That's amazing. $1,000 a month is awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you want to try Fiverr, why not? in the past, I made videos where I was so like, oh, you got it. It's got to be Fiverr. Or Upwork's not as good. But dude, if you're finding success on Upwork, continue selling on Upwork. If you want to try Fiverr to see if you can make more, try it out. Why not? But that's awesome. $1,000 plus is really, really good. So Anne says she uses a laptop. Yeah, you're right. 44-page reports. Yeah, totally. So Alien says, what do most Fiverr clients need? What do they ask for? That is such a big question. There's so many categories on Fiverr. I'd recommend you go check it out. Jiobi says, I have been appearing on Fiverr or on the first page a lot. After 2 cancellations, I don't appear within the first 20 pages. Hence my sales has dropped. What do you think about this? Well, I think it's obvious it's the cancellations. Like Fiverr doesn't like cancellations, right? It's going to take time. Like I don't know exactly how much time, but I think that while you're working on, getting your gigs back to a healthy place, maybe try to do outreach to clients yourself, direct them to your Fiverr gigs, get people to order, to kind of build back up, because unfortunately having 2 cancellations in a row, it's not a good thing, my friend. I wish you luck though. It's a tough situation. So Hazrul says, I have no confidence in offering my writing services on Fiverr. Any tips? Yeah. Tip number 1, become a really good writer first. Once you become a writer, I feel like you'll get more confidence. Glenn says, what's your tip for a newbie graphic designer to cop his or her first client / design deal? Well, there's a lot of things you can do. Are you a newbie in design or a newbie just selling on Fiverr? If you're totally new to design and you're a newbie, as you described, my tip would be to become an expert at design. That's number 1. If you're an expert and you're new to Fiverr and you're trying to sell, I would focus on creating an awesome thumbnail and then optimizing your title and gig description for SEO, for what you think your buyers might be searching for. Put up a solid profile, and in the description, try to show how you can offer a lot of value to your clients that might influence them to hire you versus the competition. But really good question. All right. So Muhammad says, how are we bringing viewers from Canada to your YouTube channel? If you're not from Canada, you're not really, right? People find my videos in YouTube search from all over the world. Yeah. So Anne says, I saw your channel is targeted to freelancers and Fiverr sellers. How do you get people know you and buy your services, even if they're different people? I'm thinking to promote my Fiverr too. So that's a really big question. So my mindset is we live in a world where people consume a lot of content, videos, blog posts, tweets, whatever. So my channel is targeted to freelancers or Fiverr sellers. However, you got to understand, people who become freelancers or Fiverr sellers sometimes do other things. This might be their side hustle. So by creating content about a topic I'm really passionate about, Fiverr, I've been able to build this really big following on YouTube, right? Some of those people are interested in the content, or some of those people are interested in the services I sell on Fiverr. It's giving me a lot more exposure. So, a blog is a great option for that. YouTube, anything you can do to kind of spread a wider net on the internet will help with whatever it is you're doing. And that's my strategy. And Glenn says, thank you so much. No problem, man. Anyways, I think that's it. We've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, one more. Sorry. A couple more. Okay. There's a couple more. Sorry. Shiraz says, does high pricing help a gig stay on first page? No, because I've seen many people ruling the first page for months with high pricing. So if pricing does matter, then how should we price our gig? You should price your gig at a point where you think people will buy it. That's how I would go about pricing my gig. The highest amount you think someone would be willing to pay is what I would price it. Okay, sorry, I was going to wrap this up, but a lot of comments are coming in, so I'm going to answer some comments. Wendy says, on the ghosting topic, I delivered an order and the buyer immediately requested a revision, but gave no info what she wanted to revise. After messaging her wait 2 days, I resubmitted. Yeah, I would do the same thing. I would even send it. I'm kind of a little bit more, maybe not so nice. If someone sends me a revision request with no details, I instantly go, listen, There was no details here. I don't know if this was an error, but if it wasn't, please resubmit with specific information on what you want changed. And by the way, here's my revision policy. Make sure you stay within it. Mumby says, how long should you wait for your first order? As long as it takes, man. Like I did an experiment last year where I created a new gig. I think it took me 60 days before I got my first order. And that's me, someone who has hundreds and hundreds of orders. It depends on you, your services, the market for it, what you're doing to promote it. So be patient and work hard. That's all I can say there. So Mariana says, what do you think about using AI tools, AI writing tools for projects? Ooh, that's a big question. So there are a lot of AI writing tools out there. I've had some of them contact me. I've seen videos on them. I don't think they're there yet. And I don't think they'll get there yet or in the near future. So a big, excuse me, a big reason people hire writers isn't just because they can get words onto a page. They have the human experience. They're able to write text that taps into emotions they think people have or reflects their own opinions and emotions or, uses psychology in a certain way. There's just a nuance to having something written by a person. And also, it's easier to understand or to explain the project to a person than an AI copywriting tool, right? Like to me, it seems like right now it's kind of a burden. Maybe one day it becomes the way that blog posts or stuff like that are written. But right now, I haven't spent much time really thinking or caring about it, to be honest. But good question. Anne says, thanks so much, Mike. Never been this long for YouTube live stream. Love your video and effort. Thank you so much. Really happy to have you here. Alien, thank you so much, Mike. This stream was really informative and helpful. Really excited for your next content. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Anne says, I also price my gig based on a few things. How many orders am I getting? Are the tips consistently being made? Is the workflow too heavy? That's a good point as well. So some people price their gigs based on how busy they are. That's definitely one way of doing it. Abdel says, gig video and Fiverr can provide more client engagement, but how we can make the video? A phone, computer camera, whatever you got, man. Jiobi says, do you think mutual cancellations are better than direct cancellations? This is a tough one. So I think all cancellations are terrible. I hate them. I avoid them at all costs. But yeah, mutual is definitely better. I've had people who've ordered by mistake, mutual cancellation. Follow up from Glenn. Is it okay to pick up or offer service to a non-rated client? Definitely. Most of my clients are non-rated. A lot of people join Fiverr for the first time. Yeah, I think it's cool. So Mummy says, will these streams be more frequent? We need them. I'm trying my best. So I've been so busy the last 6-7 months. So many friends and family getting married every weekend. I have some stuff going on. I will try to do more. I definitely will. It's been too long since my last one, and I really love doing these with you guys. So yeah, I'm going to try my best. So yeah, probably going to be more streams. So Jojo just chilling says, what exact tools do you use to make this live stream video? So there's a bunch. There's OBS Studio, there's StreamYard, there's one for Apple products. There's a lot. I'm using my camera. I have a Fujifilm camera and just kind of streaming. But I used to do them on my iPad just through YouTube. Thirsty Water says, thanks again. Great live stream. I appreciate your time and effort. Have a great weekend. You too, my friend. Enjoy. Good luck with the business. Oh, the StreamYard. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you can click them and stuff. Safwan says, thank you, sir. Thank you. Next week. If I can, I'll do one next week. But I think I have a wedding on the weekend, so maybe not. Thank you. Thank you. Glenn says, thanks again. Glad to have encountered your channel. I'm really happy to have you here, man. I hope this is super helpful. Ramona says, thanks, Mike. I have so many services. I'm trying to figure out which ones would best fit for Fiverr. I've been accepted into Fiverr Pro and Business. I'm confused whether Pro and Business are the same. So awesome. Congrats on being accepted into Fiverr Pro. So to my understanding, Fiverr Pro is something that we as sellers apply to, and Fiverr selects the top 1% of people. Business, I think, is just a new landing page or interface that business clients access Fiverr through. We have a new profile designed to make it easier for business clients, but I don't think it's something you have to apply to. I think you're just admitted into it. Yeah, good point, Ann. Don't forget to advertise your gigs on your own social media. You might have friends, family, or people you know that want to hire you for whatever it is you're doing. And also, I was guilty of this when I started this channel. We tend to be embarrassed to tell people about new ventures we're starting, right? But if you don't tell them, the word's not going to get out. And the people closest to you, although they might be the most critical, they also might be the most likely to recommend you to a friend. So definitely, and great point. Unit says, thanks for this, Mike. Looking forward to more of your stuff. Awesome. That's good to hear. Jaobi, thank you, man. I'm happy you joined. Ooh, cow scene. Can we add more service in 1 gig or 1 gig, one type of service? So good question. I recommend creating a specific gig for a specific service. It makes it easier to target clients, makes it easier to, work on a keyword strategy. And I think Fiverr allows you to start with like 9 or 10 right off the bat. So yeah, I would definitely create a gig for the service you want to sell, specific to the service. Good question. All right, quick sip. I'll give it a couple more minutes. If I get any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, I think this has been awesome so far. Really enjoyed chatting with you guys today. All right, we got another one. So Safwan says, sir, are you completely dependent on Fiverr? How much time dedicated to Fiverr? So yeah, I am really busy lately. So I've wanted for so long to test new platforms and to build a network on different platforms. But right now, Fiverr is pretty much the only platform I really focus on. A big reason for that is because I focus a lot on building this YouTube channel. I'm running a newsletter. I have the blog going. I'm writing on Medium. I'm at a happy place with Fiverr right now. I'm not opposed to using other platforms. Just at this point in my life, I don't have the time, and I wish I did. A good question. All right, so Wendy, I always pick up new tips when you do reviews to tweak and improve my gigs. Thanks. That's honestly awesome. So sometimes I'm sitting here, I'm like, is this helpful? Like, are people getting anything from this? But when I hear comments like that, it makes me feel really, really, really good. I'm so happy this is helpful. Thank you, Wendy, for that. All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up here. This has been really, really amazing. Thank you all so much for joining. I really hope this was helpful. Stay tuned. I'll try to do more of these in the future. And yeah, good luck crushing it on Fiverr. I really, really love seeing all of you. And yeah, good luck. Have a great weekend.